Call this meeting to order, 6:30. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. None. Deputations and delegations. We have Dale Wright here, Affordable Housing Concept. Dale, the floor is yours.
Well, we plan on putting in, because we're desperate for housing in the north here. And we've got new people coming in, we've got no place to put them. But now we've got we can put up 15 tiny homes between 536 square feet to 800 square feet. Those are considered tiny homes. Now, and then we're gonna put up 5 duplexes for families. Now, those they'll all be affordable. And to be setback duplexes. And the other 5, they're gonna be high end. They're gonna be over the right hand side. But what we plan on doing is we plan on putting limestone in fine layers, pack it down. As you come up, you gradually increase the size until you get to the big size. I mean, big boulders, and then from there, then you put a little bit on top. And what it does, it takes the material, it takes the arsenic and absorbs it. It doesn't kill it. Because nothing will kill that except an 8,000 to 9,000 year lifespan. And we can't afford that. So that's all our wasted land now. And if we can get the ministry involved through the provincial and the federal and the mining company to start paying for some of the stuff that we trucked in, we can fix it up. And they can use our place to monitor the results. And if they're good, then we can continue on cleaning up our area where we should be. And if anybody from the town wants to buy some of those affordable homes, then they'll have the first right of refusal. You know, in case you got a family that's in desperate need or something, or you know that they're going to be in desperate need and there's no housing or anything else, well, you can help. But we can put up a number, at least on that acreage down there. Now, anything we take away that may be allowance, maybe you can give back in some other places of the property. You know, some other places, the town will say if we have to give up 2 acres for the road allowance. Well, give us 2 acres somewhere, we'll put a couple more houses over there.
Sure.
So this is just kind of this idea stage right now? You haven't talked to the environmental people about the ground and if that layering of the limestone works, and also mines, you have any communication with the mines saying that they're willing to?
I'm a bad penny over at the ministry because I just won't sign off.
Have you talked to the mines about paying for any of this stuff too?
Well, this is where after we find out, okay, now we can cover it, then the government is going to turn around and tell us if we can cover it safely. Now we can't dig basements on it, but maybe we can take a half basement or something like that. You know, put 6 feet of limestone down, put half basement or something like that, or set it right on the because you're not, most of this area right around here is rock anyway. It's hard to dig a basement unless you're blasting. And that's the last thing you want to do is start blasting and making them start coming back up.
Yeah, I was just asking, what about the arena? Is that
That's gonna stay. I want 3.5, I want at least 3 acres around the arena. Because the surveyors are coming in, this should be here tonight.
Oh, good.
But they're supposed to come in and they're gonna do the surveying. They got to do the border first. Just to make sure we're right on the money. And from there, they're gonna divide the lots. And I've been talking to the surveyors and they figure they can get, I thought it was gonna be only 10 at first, like 20 homes. But we can get 30 homes there. No, 20 of them, you might say will be, 15 will be tiny home, like say for a senior that, or a single or a young family that's got no kids or something like that. Perfect.
Are you talking about like the parking lot areas around the?
Parking lot, cliff area where the fence is right now. That's all, according to what, we're saying, that's all my property, they've got 350 feet past there. That's not the mining, company's property, it's my property.
So behind the fenced areas is designated, it might be your property, but designated hazard.
That's where they put it, we will put in the limestone. Now, if you do the research on limestone, limestone is only one, that and a little bit of earth. It's the only factors that will mitigate the bad shit of arsenic.
I'm just trying to picture the fence and what's behind it. And what's underneath it.
Well, from what I gather underneath it, there are 33 feet from the edge at the corner of the arena where they drill that one big hole.
Yeah,
And you hit water, but they can't, when you hit water and break through, you can't, the camera doesn't, give you, what you have got in the building. But you go drilling it, then you got all that arsenic that you're moving up and pushing out onto the main drag. Whereas if you're gonna use the limestone, you can cover it.
yeah, I'm concerned about the underground, what mine workings are underneath that part of the property, but it's been so long. And I don't have the maps anymore, so I'll have to check
It's all
that
wild.
out at the mining museum. They'll
Used
have
to be
the,
all Wild West down here. Trust me, we used to be able to run from one head, the fire, the glory hole, right through over to the Bryant. You used to be able to run.
and if you've got scuba deer, you can start at what is it, south end of town? Underground and swim through all the different mine workings all the way from Hudson Bay South to Hudson Bay North.
We got
That's the
caught, we got
concern.
caught by the miners so many times going underneath going across. They used to report us to do feet.
No, that's my concern is what's underground at that point. That would have to be thoroughly checked out before anything would happen.
Yeah, how does that, do they use like X-rays or something to look underneath? How do they figure this out?
That.
No, there are the maps available.
Or do they have actual maps?
Yeah,
No.
and if they're not here, they're up in
Because isn't
Kirkland.
there some,
They're
get
online.
some equipment or something? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There's some applications that you should.
So all we gotta do is go down into
The
the
X-raying of the ground.
Go down, get to it, and then you put the camera along, and these days, that camera can go anywhere.
It doesn't take the pictures of anything that's got blood. You can't take a picture because if you get the different warps of the water.
Oh, no, you can get good pictures.
Hey, I want to try to take the pictures up here behind the arena. They couldn't do it.
Under the arena itself, or does anybody know that? Is there?
It's okay.
Nothing
Under the
under it?
We're okay on there. We're okay on.
It's beyond the fence.
We can go further, yeah. But they got all the tailings over there. We gotta cover that up. We got no choice. If you wanna use the land, it's gotta be covered. And it's the only way you can turn around, you can put all that shit back on the ground, pump it back with a slurry, but you're still gonna get caught with all that arsenic on top of the surface. And the only way you can do that is cover it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see here in your request to speak, you have a request, we're getting permission to speak about having surveyors subdivide my property.
Yep.
Staff has let me know that there's an application at town office for that.
Okay.
All right.
But we want to, some of the lots may be small, but the duplexes will be sitting on a lot, one building will be 100 by 100 foot, 100 by 50 on each side of the building. And the high-end homes will be 200 by 200 lots. And the other ones will be, the tiny homes will be whatever we can get.
So are these homes, are they gonna be like a freehold? Are you, so you're selling the property?
Yes, selling the property. Now, the only thing we're gonna request is, say, if you buy a building, you're gonna have to buy the property. And you make your choice of the building. We'll deliver it in 90 days and have it installed. You can go ahead and move in. But that's as far as we can go on that one. Like, yeah, everything is gonna be freehold, just like the arena is. Or you can do whatever you like. Because there's a lot of seniors around that don't have any kids anymore. Storage building. I know I don't.
Gary?
Hey, Dale, what's the average price of these tiny homes roughly? Like, we're looking at 80 grand, 110 grand? 150?
Pre-COVID, I would have said they're.
Now they're double?
Higher than that, prices are coming down. They're probably mid-100s.
That would be like the smallest one?
Well, there's three different types of brochures you can use.
Mhm.
There's one. Yep.
I guess a question too, are these kind of just drop into place like a modular home almost, or are they built on site?
We'll have a crew here, just put them right down and you move in.
The smaller ones come completely finished on module.
Mhm.
So they finish inside everything. All you do is put on whatever foundations required, do the hookups.
What about the, you said the hookups, like the plumbing and everything, to be hooked up to the sewer lines, is there extra cost in that, or is that?
No, that'd be cost.
I think your cost.
Because that's part of the foundation.
All right.
I'm responsible for the home side of it, which is everything from plates up, basically. So any site preparation, that's.
That's on us.
That's part of
That's our
that.
team.
And are we able to, is our, like our wetlands gonna be able to handle the extra that many people?
The only thing I'm worried about is, do we have enough capacity on our sewer systems and water systems to cover these people?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be 30, you might as well say 30 families. And how much more is it gonna cost to take an upgrade? You know, because that's, I know there's gonna be a certain amount of return, good return back on the taxes. But then again, does it cost override?
That's a big question right there too.
We don't even, has anybody done any studies on the capacity of the wetlands?
No, but as far as I know, no, but something we're gonna have to look at. You're the second investor that's approached us about building, so.
Because we don't have much time according to the government. They want to go pushing us. Pushing me anyway. The houses.
Grants and stuff.
Grants.
Some of the grants out there for
He said,
homes.
the guy said it takes time to put all this all together in Queens Park and Ottawa. And we want to make sure that some bigger corporations, they got a lot of money and a lot of, you might say, we're only a small guy. We want to get in, we've got to step and do our work ahead of time. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere with these guys. These guys committed the big dollars and we're out. And so the houses. And they just put in what they want for profit. That's it.
These Maple Leaf homes, just so you know, they are fully certified factory homes. They meet all the building codes and exceed some codes right across Canada. They're good to go.
Very good.
Anybody got any questions? Shoot it at us. We try to answer them. Or if you have any questions coming up that you don't have now, you can always phone me at home, mate. You got my number.
You gave your contact number to Steve and everything like that, Joe?
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
I would like to see. Property goes past that fence line. I'd like to see like an overall. I think you said you had one.
So somebody wants to walk down my.
I just want to see I have a better picture from above looking at this.
You're on the. parcel.
Yep. You know, I agree.
One made up there.
Oh,
Sign off, make one.
okay, sure.
I got the colored one and I got the other ones. I'll give you all three. The one, the one I got, the plain one, that's got all the measurements and everything. We're almost 700 feet backside, 1,000 feet front side, and 1,000 feet this side. That's a lot of acre. Now, the surveyors put it right, we can position each one of those homes where it's gonna fit the tax base. And people that are buying them.
Just to let you know, also, I have digital files of all the homes. And they also do custom stuff as well, but I'll send those all to Steve.
Yeah.
Look, they'll have everything from row housing to you name it's in there. But any of the plans basically can be altered within reason. So there's things that can change, and of course, prices is adjusted based on finishings inside and out, final siding or composite or some of the appliances, cabinetry could be inexpensive for as high end as you want. So that all affects the price of that. They're well priced compared to building them on site.
So now, as far as site prep for a lot, you're gonna take care of that, right? Bill?
Yeah, that's our, Wayne, Gray and myself, we'll take care of all that. They bring in the homes. And we set them on the homes, like, every time, like Bill Myers will be selling all of the lots. And they'll be all freehold. And whoever buys the lot, well, they've got the choice of those, whatever home we can put on them. And what it does, it saves us from, say, you want to put your own home up there or whatever. Well, it becomes a nightmare for us, for security. Because of all that stuff laying around and everything else, who's gonna be building what and who can, who can borrow from who? Without nobody knowing. And this way, we kind of keep a bit of control on it. And everybody knows what is going down on the houses then as well. But the arena will stay with about 3.5 acres, whatever we can get away with. As it is right now, like storage. And what we'll do is in the summertime, until we can get something going down there, we'll just let the Lions Club use it for raising their funds, fundraising. The beginning and end of May.
So as I said, my only concern is when you get beyond the fence, the hazard lands. Well, no permits would come from the government anyway without double checking that. We should be double checking that ourselves.
That's where the MOE comes in.
Because we put those fences up for a purpose. Although that wasn't one of the ones that I put up, so. But I have been back of there and underground down there. And so there is a lot of workings right in that area.
But any workings that are open, they've got to be re-fenced. Like there's a couple, according to the Googlers, there's a couple of that have to be, they got pools or puddles or whatever it is. We got to do something about those. Now, whether it's filling the damn things in, right? Keep dumping until it's full. We see what the MOE says, right? But as for the cost factor, that should be falling on Agnico Eagle. They want me to sign off on the property, and then they gotta start doing something about the remediation of the property.
Have you spoken with Agnico Eagle, Bill?
Oh, they got me down, I'm the bad penny. Don't sign off, because of those holes at the back. And I know too much, but I did my block diagram and everything else when I went to college. I know what the ground is like underneath. And conglomerate ground isn't very, what you call, satisfactory hard. It's, it'll crack and break quite easily under pressure.
We'll take a look at what your partner's bringing here and then.
There's the man. Oh, I took my white, sorry. That's the one you were talking about.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if I could take a look at that one.
Okay, we'll just hold it. And this other one, this is the other one, this is the match to that one. You can see where every place where there's what you call if you look at this one here, you can see the
That's just the parts. and
Tailings.
parcels. That doesn't say where the.
this one here, Jim.
There's another page there too, Jim.
Yeah, thank
Right
you.
there.
Sorry.
You can see the tailing spots on this one here.
That's the arena. That's the cognac. It's working straight up. Um, And that's that big one.
That's just for, that's for you. Taylor's right there.
Oh, that's the train. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. And they've got the parts and the parcels, don't have the street names.
And if you take a look at Rod Breyer's place up on top of the hill there, I'm just above that and to the left. They're gonna go a straight line, almost a little over 1,000 feet.
Files you send to Steve, right, with your package, you're gonna send to Steve, right?
I have a house. Oh. I want this.
Just like a picture of it or something.
Well, I can say I give you this picture here, but what we're gonna try to do is try to fit all those homes on as many lots. Now, we're hoping for 30 homes. But if we can't get them, I want to get 29, well, we'll put 29.
Yeah, Dale, if you're able to get digital copies sent to Steve so we can distribute them among all the counselors, that'd be great.
Mhm.
I think I got that one and digital. So I'm gonna go with the land titles and get them, no problem. But the
Yeah.
land surveyor said they're going to do the border right away. Make sure we're right on. And I think we are.
Mhm.
That's pointed that way, so that's not that way.
Been a long time since.
Does he really need our permission to have surveyors on his own property, survey his property?
Not sure.
I don't think so.
Steve's gonna have to look at
Street is up. Mhm.
Surveyed.
Yeah.
Should maybe recommend that survey. Side of the fence.
that. Mhm.
Not gonna go.
Langley, Inland Street. Is that your property too?
Hang on, show me.
I don't know, it says,
Show me on the big map.
Swimming pool.
well, there's Finland.
Finland.
Oh, you're talking. Yeah. Part of that is-
Yeah, so this is east, this side is
Yeah.
east, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Send that off to Steve and he'll put it to everybody. We'll be able to look at a great copy of that stuff.
Mhm.
But what are any property that we give up on this, like the road allowance, the gas line? Instead of a situation where we just take more land and we'll build more houses. All affordable, make them all affordable. Except for the high end ones.
Any other questions for Dale?
What land were you planning on taking?
Whatever's available.
Like, so
You
just-
got something you wanna get rid of that's halfway decent, we can put houses on, build houses. Whether they're tiny homes or regular family size home.
Alright.
But what we will do is we'll make anything available except for the high end home, none of you guys want to buy them. Well, we'll make them the tiny homes and the setbacks, we'll make them all affordable. And the town as well, if they want to buy them to rent them out, low rental or whatever.
What's your price cap for affordable house? For affordable? Is it under the 200 or is it under the 150?
I'm not sure, what would that be?
All the smaller stuff. Yeah.
But say one that's,
Safe side, but it's be less.
because our homes run, the big ones run from 800 to 400 square feet. You know, for family, you gotta have a decent sized home for a family.
Once you get sufficient like that. I was telling you, the factory's not gonna wanna do 50 options upfront. It's a lot of
Mhm.
work. Let's say if you pick a handful of things that you're interested in, then they can price that accordingly. So we get written estimates on there and you'll see exactly.
5 housing options kind of thing, pick 5 housing styles that you can kind of.
You can't really include the house.
Mhm.
So anything on site, but they give you, once the deposits, it's 50% deposit. When you sign the order, 50% before it gets, when they start building it, so it's fully paid for, otherwise they don't want to be stuck with it. That includes shipping to your door. So the only other things that might be involved is possibly a crane on site. Depending how, where the access is, sometimes they can slide them on, other times they have to lift them. But other than that, I mean, if you're not looking for something, what you're talking about affordable housing, the key thing on cost, keeping that down is having basic interiors and exteriors. They don't need to be fancy.
Say maybe you wanna buy a couple of houses for low rentals. So then you put less into it and go from there. You know what I mean? You gotta mitigate your costs where they can. You can lower your costs, maybe by there's different avenues that they talked about. Say you've got a family, you know, you've got to help out from the town. Or maybe you can get with, what do you call that program that they have? For finishing off?
Sure.
You know, the ones
Habitat
where
for
they-
Humanity?
Come in, hey,
Habitat for Humanity?
yeah. Habitat. Somebody come in, okay, well, we're gonna give you the home, you're gonna have to do so much work, but that's the finishing work. Like we've done the commercial, you bought the building and et cetera, now they've got to commit. They commit, then everybody's happy, including the tenants.
Any other questions? Awesome. So if you could forward those digital files, Dale, that'd be great.
Thank you.
And,
No problem.
thanks for the presentation.
Okay, okay. And if anything else, you know how to get a hold of me, and like, I say, if anybody wants. Bill White over at, you can name him, hell, he worked. Coldwell Banker.
Is he gonna be an investor? Is he an investor in this as well, or just a real estate guy, just selling it? Or is he getting in as an investor as well, or is he just a real estate guy?
Oh, my investor is coming from down around, King Card. Same one that's investing in my arena.
Awesome. Thank you, Dale.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem. I guess that's it until we hear from you, eh? But one thing I do got before we leave is remember what the government told me. You take your time and you're gonna lose out, but if you get on it, while the program is hot, then you help us. With these ones. Yeah, and have the old other extra also.
Mhm.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay, no problem. Take care.
Good night.
Okay, moving on. Adoption of meeting agenda, draft motion, be resolved, council approve the agenda of the committee of the whole meeting dated March 7th, 2023 as presented. Can I get a mover on that, please? Jim, seconded by Doug. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Carried. Item 5, Public Works, February 2023 report. Does anybody have a question for Aaron on anything regarding the report? Pretty awesome report. All good? Thank you, Aaron. 5.2 Animal Control, February 2023 report. Any discussion on that? Item 5.3 Bylaw Enforcement, February 2023 report. Mr. Gilbo. Any questions? Discussion on that? Item 5.4 Municipal Intern, February 2023 report. Questions for Evan on that? Pat?
Yeah, how far have you come? We had all these things we had to decide before the end of March. How far are you coming? Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, for the tech park.
Yes.
upgrade,
Yep.
How is things going for?
Good. So I forgot, I should have put the number on your page just so that you guys are aware, but so we got the official number from FedNor is 37,331. So I don't know if you want to write that down somewhere on your sheet. 31? 37,331 is the number. For FedNor. So yeah, as I mentioned on here, I did look into some solar lighting costs. Just, you know, with that budget, it's just way too high. So realistically, you know, the most affordable plan based on, you know, some discussions we've had with some contractors is stick with the lights that town is currently. As I mentioned at a previous meeting, the work doesn't have to get done by the 31st. So as long as we can come to an agreement, which we should have no issues coming to an agreement by the 31st of March. And we have, you know, a few more months to get the work done. So that's, like realistically, that's probably the best plan, but
That's for the pre-purchased lights that we already have.
yeah, that's for the lights we have, and the contract would just be for install essentially, like getting them in the ground. So
So will that take up most of the?
yeah, that would pretty much put us to zero. Yeah, I would say, you know, ballpark, you know, give or take, you know, 50, you know, it's not gonna be exactly the same number, but you know, basically zero.
Once you buy some baseballs. or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Yes. Okay, yeah, that was the one thing I was worried about.
yeah, so, it's, yeah, we're, you know, I'm speaking to contractors right now. We shouldn't have an issue with getting a contract signed by the 31st. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on numbers so that you're aware. But yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Oh, I like the sounds of that.
Go. All right, thank you. Have a great-
Thanks a lot.
Motion be resolved, council accept the staff reports as presented. Can I get a mover, please? Pat, seconded by Gary. All in favor? Carried. Items for council consideration, draft bylaw to authorize electronic signing of documents. Does anybody have any discussion on that?
I'm surprised we didn't already have that bylaw.
Is there a program that we're using for that?
Worship, it's different programs. It's what sometimes the provider sends to us, like using a DocuSign software package. So when the information is emailed to us, we can just click onto the document and then it
Like
just
the real estate sites and stuff. Okay.
exactly.
Mortgage. Any other discussion on that one? Good. 6.2 Township of Coleman, notice of council appointment to the Cobalt Public Library Board. Any discussion on that?
Be a good rep.
6.3 draft motion, RE procedural bylaw regarding the meeting of February 21st, 2023. Any discussion? Good.
I was unsure of what it was meant about.
I couldn't hear.
Sorry, I was unsure what that was all about, about the last meeting or February 21st.
That was the two motions that were put forth, I believe. Correct?
10.3.
Yeah. Right at the end, 10.2, 10.3.
There was the one from Councillor Cooper. There was one, and what was the other one?
Yeah, if I could just speak to this for a moment, and I want to thank staff for bringing this to us. I know staff investigated what happened that night and how it was done. I do want to point out that what we did was perfectly appropriate. Our bylaw 334 reads that no motion to suspend the rules is required to allow a new motion to be presented without notice under new business at a meeting. However, the motion presented shall require a 2/3 vote. And of course, we approve both unanimously, so there's no problem there. But as staff has put forward, and we had a brief chat about it the other day, the whole intent behind that one and other ones that are out there is for transparency. It is generally phrased that, but it has a section that says where there is a pressing time issue. If there's something that is time sensitive and we've got to pass it, then we can do it without suspending the motions. So that's what that's about. And so this is perfectly legitimate as well. Another good way to do it. Yeah, it also legitimizes it, but basically we still complied with our procedures policy.
The one that was presented on Harry's benefit, that wasn't
Yeah.
time sensitive at all. It was something that should have gone, and, you know, when you got it, you should have been able to say to him, okay, yeah, it's too late for this agenda, and it'll go on to the next agenda, because it was time sensitive.
Yes, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I did suggest that there was a lot in there that we would put off until we're past the budget process and everything else, you know, quite right. No problem there at all. The other one was because Maria had to be in
Oh,
Toronto
yes.
the next.
Yeah,
week.
the other one I understood, yes. Maria's was very time sensitive and had to.
But nonetheless, as I say, as it's written in our current procedural bylaw, we didn't do anything wrong. We followed our bylaw. But the intent was for time sensitive material only. So we will look to change that when we get into our meetings on that.
Yes, Steve.
As Councillor Wilcox said, to just to remind all councillors, for section 9 in our procedure bylaw, 9.11, member of council may file a motion to be placed on the agenda through the clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. on the Thursday of the week prior of the regular council meeting as deemed appropriate, just as Councillor Wilcox said. And the purpose of providing notice of these items that are to be discussed on the agenda allows the public an opportunity to provide feedback or attend this meeting.
Exactly. Yes. Transparency. So that's all I had to say.
Anything else? You good, Jim? Good. Right on. Okay. Yes, Steve. Sure. Here, I'll read this out for you. 6.2 draft motion procedural bylaw regarding meeting February 21st, 2023. Whereas motions were tabled at the regular meeting of council on February 21st, 2023, which were not properly filed in accordance with section 9.1 of bylaw 2022-25, being a bylaw to govern the procedures of council. And whereas adding and considering such motions are contrary to the process adopted by council and may also be seen as contravention of section 239 of the Municipal Act related to the open meeting rules. And whereas said motions being moved, seconded, debated, and decided without superseding section 9.1 of the procedural bylaw to allow the motions to be properly introduced and considered by council, put the town at risk of complaints made to the office of the Ontario Ombudsman, as well as other legal challenges. And whereas in interest of transparency and accountability to the ratepayers of the town of Cobalt, it is recommended that section 9.1 be suspended with respect to the addition of items 10.2 and 10.3 and the passing of resolutions 2023-58 and 2023-59 at the February 21st, 2023 regular meeting of council. And whereas council can pass such motions retroactively, now therefore be resolved that council for the corporation of the town of Cobalt hereby suspend section 9.1 of bylaw 2022-52, commonly known as the procedure bylaw, with respect to actions taken at the regular meeting of council on February 21st, 2023, to formally allow the addition, consideration, and debate of items 10.2 and 10.3 as were added to the agenda without proper notice. And be it further resolved that the result of the vote on items 10.2 and 10.3 be deemed to be legal and binding on the corporation as if they had been passed in accordance with the provisions established by bylaw 2022-52. Good. Right on. Items for council consideration, 7.1, Town of Kirkland Lake, notice of resolution regard RE for Bill 42, Gender Affirming Healthcare Act. So I spoke with the mayor of Kirkland Lake today, and they're basically looking for a letter of support from the town of Cobalt to be forwarded to the Minister of Health in support of this new this motion here.
Move forward with.
Yes, please. Counselor, is council okay with all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Very. Yeah. And the town,
Already have it.
right. The township of Venturell is looking for the exact same thing. They're looking for a letter of support.
Blood,
Yes.
blood thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, having a better access to blood work. There's a specific word for that.
The bottom.
Yes, the body, yeah.
Support that too.
I see. Yeah, council's good on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's over driving down Lister.
Big word there.
Yes.
Okay. Draft motion be resolved that council accept the items for council consideration and information as presented. Can I get a mover, please? Pat, seconded by Gary. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. 8, unfinished business. None. New business, none. Item 10, closed meeting, draft motion be it resolved that council convene in closed section as per section 239 of the municipal act, 2001 as amended, in order to address a matter pertaining to subsection 3.1, education or training session. Tim Hutchison, municipal insurer. Can I get a mover on that, please? Doug, seconded by Gary. All in favor? Carried. Business arising from a closed meeting? None. 12, adjournment, draft motion be resolved that the committee of the whole meeting of council be adjourned at. Please. Go with Doug and Gary. All in favor? Thank you, everybody. Carried.
You could use some rubber for the other end of that thing. Oh,